Hello and welcome to October's Lunch and Law. Today we're going to go over some tips that you should be taking before the end of the year is out as business owners. And I decided to do this in October because in the past I've gone through this checklist in December and I found that it just really doesn't give people a lot of time. So we're going to start in October getting ready for the end of the year. So let's be diligent about that, you all. I'll be getting ready just as you all are getting ready. So number one, an annual meeting. So if you are a corporation, so not an LLC, but if you are a for-profit or nonprofit corporation, you want to make sure that you have your annual meeting before the end of the year. Your annual meeting should have all of your directors and officers there. You should take meeting minutes and you should keep those minutes in a safe place. So if you are one of my clients, I'm almost positive that you've had a meeting already before October of this year. But just in case you haven't, take the time to have a full meeting with your staff and record those meeting minutes. If you are LLC, an annual meeting is not required. It's great to have one. It's great to be on one page with your staff, with your directors and your officers, but it's not mandatory for LLC. For a corporation, it is. So if you are a corporation, make sure you get that done. Make sure you're keeping your meeting minutes organized and in a safe place. So if you started your business in 2021, then we should have a binder that says, meeting minutes, and it should go from 2021 to 2023. So make sure we're keeping our meeting minutes in a safe place and organized. You may not be a binder type of person. You may be a Google Drive type of person. That's fine. Our best practice is to have things in both places, something that's virtual, but also something that's hands-on, just in case something happens to either one. So that's just a little tidbit. We also want to prepare for our annual registration that's going to be due in January. So every year, you will probably get at least 5 emails from me saying, hey, it's January. It's time for your annual registration. We need to pay it by April. So you want to start preparing for it now. You're not just paying a fee to the state to register your business. That's part of it. But you're also going over your business to see if those items are still accurate. So are you still using that particular address for your principal place of business? Are you still using this particular registered agent? Is your registered agent me, which is great. But if your registered agent is somebody who left your business, your ex-business partner, then you want to update that. So you want to review your annual registration to be sure the information is still accurate. You don't want to submit your annual registration in December because then you're just going to have to submit it again in January and pay twice. So just review it, just getting ready for January, just whatever you need to change, make note of it and make sure that you change it in January. You also want to review your contracts. So if you are a client of mine, you have several contracts. So take the time to review them. If you want to hop on a call with me, then let me know. But otherwise, you want to look and see what contracts do I have expiring? What contracts do I need to renew? So if I have drafted a contract for you, there's an option to renew 30 days before the contract expires, unless you told me you didn't want that. But for a lot of contracts, I put that in. So when do you have to exercise that 30 days? When do you have to renegotiate this contract? It's also a good time to see, do you want to keep a contract in place? So if it's expiring, is it something that you even want to renew, or is it something you want to roll off? Do you want to look for a new vendor? Has this person done good work for you? Do you need to set up a meeting before the end of the year? So just take the time to review your contracts. Just be sure that they're still working for you and your business. And it's also a good time to renegotiate, if I didn't already say that. If you want to continue to work with someone or a business, but those terms haven't been favorable for you, it's a great time to renegotiate. Okay, next you want to review your insurance. So if you're one of my clients, you have an insurance policy, because I'm sure I beat it over your head, get insurance. But does that insurance policy still work for you? So it may be that you got an insurance policy when you first started your business and maybe you were 100% virtual. It may be that you're now having events in person. Well, then you would need to alter your insurance. It may be that you started off with no employees or contractors, but now you have employees and contractors. Well, you may need to alter your insurance. So make sure you review your insurance to be sure it's still meeting your needs as a business and as a business owner. Next, for your employees, if you are a business owner and you have employees, you want to make sure that you have your annual reviews. That's the best practice. It also protects you against discrimination claims. So as a business owner, if you end up letting someone go and you say, hey, I let them go because they were late 100 times in 2023, but you don't have those latenesses documented, and you never had an annual meeting with someone to say, hey, you've been late 100 times or 99 times, you only have one more time, and then I have to let you know, I have to let you go. So if we don't have that documentation as a business owner, then we could let someone go and then they could say, hey, you're discriminating against me. Hey, I'm a Black woman, you're discriminating against me. I'm over 40, you're discriminating against me because I'm over 40. There's, several different protected categories. And if, as a business owner, if we don't have that documentation to show, no, this has been an issue and I've told this person about this issue, if we don't have those documents, then there may be some credence. It may appear as if it's some credence to this person's claim that it was discrimination was the reason why this person was let go. So let's make sure we're doing our parts. If we have employees, let's make sure we are giving them annual reviews and staying up to date on any disciplinary issues. And lastly, but definitely not least, but this is what I'm gonna talk about lastly. Pay your taxes, and pay your taxes. Check with your CPA. If you don't have a CPA, please let me know. I know about 2 or 3 people I can recommend to you. Pay your taxes. If you have employees, make sure you're paying your quarterly taxes, your employment taxes. If you're a nonprofit, make sure you're filing your forms to stay compliant with your nonprofit status. If you have questions about that, don't ask me, ask your CPA, okay? So if you don't have one, let me know. I can get you in contact with somebody. And then we're going to move on to our question of the day. So for my members, I like to open up questions. If you have a question, part of being in relationship with me is that you have access to legal education. So a question I've been getting often, I would say twice within the last month, is should I buy a business with a business? So I have a few clients who have purchased businesses this month, right? Thank God. That's an awesome opportunity. And when they first came to me, they were going to purchase their business as an individual. And so we had to quickly have a conversation that no, you don't want to purchase a business as an individual. You want to purchase your business with a business. Purchasing a business with a business is going to protect your personal assets. So we've talked about the corporate veil before. The corporate veil separates you, an individual, from you, the business owner. It keeps a partition in between the business and the personal. And so if you're buying a business, same thing. You don't want to own, so not quite the same thing, right? Because as an individual, you probably own an LLC, or you may own another type of business. You own it as an individual, right? But when you're buying a business, when you're actually going through a deal to purchase another business, there's several things that can fall through with that deal. And so you don't want to engage as a person. And also when you're taking on someone else's business, as much research and as much auditing as you may do, there may be some things that come up from that business's past that you inherit as the new owner. So it's always best to buy an already existing business as a business. And so I definitely recommend that to my clients, and I'm recommending it to you all. If you have any other questions, please shoot me an email, shoot me a text, call us, and I will be sure to get an answer to those questions. Thank you for tuning in, and enjoy the rest of your year. Well, I'll talk to you before then. Enjoy the rest of your week.